Hey guys, Lucas from Rats on the Ice. Sorry, so late with this. I am back. Had a couple of issues going on in life, financially and just depression and all that. But I am finally back here to record the season recap of the Florida Panthers 2014-15 season. Now, the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to go through each month, tell you what I thought was the high points and then the low points. Then I'll give a summary of who I thought my MVPs were and who I thought was really disappointing for us for the season. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and just dive right on into this. So, let's go into October. I thought really the high point of October is the last 5 games. We went 3-0-2. Some really key wins. And it helped salvage October because the low point in October is we started off a couple of key points in October. We did start off really slow. In the game we had against Arizona, we just had so many penalties in that game. That was just a horrible game. We had the lead, and the third period we just collapsed. In the whole game we gave the Coyotes 8 power play chances, and it actually killed us in that game. And then also Pierre got injured as well in that month as well. So it's just not a great start to begin the month. Again, we ended off well with that. November, definitely the high point I thought was going 2-1-1 on the West Coast trip, especially that 6-2 win against Anaheim. I thought was the best win we had all season. And then we tied Nashville at that couple games after. Tied Nashville after being down 2-0 with a minute to go to earn at least a point. We ended up losing it in the extra frame. Again, you know me. I wish we could just beat Nashville. We just can't beat them. But anyways, again, it was huge. Again, I thought that was really the high point of November. The low point was the games against the Flyers and the Flames. Again, we had just gone through this really good stretch, and then we got those 2 games. The Flyers, we lost to them 4-1, and then we lost to Calgary 6-2 or something like that. And in that game against Calgary, we had leads of 2-0, 3-1, 4-3, and then blew it. Kulikov ended up getting injured in that game against the Flames, and that game was just so frustrating. And having the leads and just not able to hold on to them. Montoya just sloppy in that game. Flames scored a shorthanded goal on when Kulikov got injured, and it was just bad. Just bad. Let's go to December. I thought the high point was obviously the 20-round shootout against the Washington Capitals. Just a historic game. I was so enthralled by it. I was like, man, when's this going to end? But definitely one of the high points of December. The low point coming was the loss against the Blues. That was just a tough game. We fall behind 2-0. We played them so well. And then we come back to tie it on an absolutely beautiful goal by Ekblad, and then we lose it with 1:54 left in the third. And I really thought we should have earned a point in that game, which we didn't, unfortunately. So, all right, on to the next calendar month, 2015, January. Definitely the high point was when we started off that 5-game road trip of a season high of 6 games, 4-1. And it really looked good. It looked like, okay, great. This is going to be a great start to the season and all that. But then guess what? The low point comes. As we got absolutely spanked in the last game was the Winnipeg Jets, 8-2. And then ended up going on a slide of 0-4-1 after that loss. And I think that was the turning point of our season. That absolutely crushed any hopes of us making the playoffs. I don't think the guys responded the way they should have after such a horrible loss. You know, they should have just said, all right, hey, it happens. It's a long season. Let's pick up, bootstraps up, and move on. It didn't seem to happen. So, February, the month of all the fucking snow we had up here. High point for the Florida Panthers was After starting a New York trip, which I was supposed to go to the Rangers game, but couldn't because of the snow. After going 0-2 on that trip, we beat the Islanders, and we started a 3-0-1 unbeaten streak. And it was huge, especially we got 2 big wins against the Kings 3-2, and then we crushed Anaheim again 6-2. So that was huge to come back after losing tough games against New Jersey and the Rangers to go on that nice little streak. But then we had a low point. Was a hit Kulikov had on Sagan. I thought it was definitely a legal hit. Fortunately, Sagan got injured. Kulikov got suspended. I don't think he should have gone suspended. But, hey, this is why I don't run the NHL. So in March, the high point was definitely the play of Dan Ellis. After Luongo and Montoya got injured in the game against Toronto, which I was there for that week. Unbelievable week again. I thank you guys all for all your support. But anyways, on to as he went 4-2-1 in that span of April. Easily could have been 6-0-1, but unfortunately lost 2 tough games against the Rangers and Montreal, 2-1 against the Rangers, and then 3-2 against Montreal. A game we totally dominated both games. Again, he just should have had it. We just could not score, and this happens. So clearly, hey, guess we all know what the low point was of March 3rd, game against the Islanders. Both Luongo and Montoya got hurt. April comes around. Again, not many games, but hey, the high point, at least for me, was putting a huge dent in the Boston Bruins season as we beat them 4-2 in the second to last game of the season, pretty much dashing any hope for Boston to make it. Low point was the 2 losses we had against Tampa Bay and Montreal, as we got absolutely spanked, outscored 8-1, losing both games, having no mustard, and getting, I believe it was against Montreal that we got mathematically eliminated against them. So, let's go on to my MVPs. My MVP absolutely was Luongo. And I might get a lot of beef for this, but I think the reason why we were as good as we were this season was because of Luongo. If we had Tim Thomas in net, if we had Theodore, I think anyone else, I don't think we would have had the season we had. Luongo had career goals against, career high goals against, and save percentage. He was phenomenal for us. He was the backbone for this team this season. Ekblad, obviously phenomenal. Pierre, after being shelved on the bench for a while, finally got free, had 22 goals in like 42 games. Unbelievable. Easily could have 30 or 40 goals if he keeps that pace up next season. Huberdeau and Barkov, I think, only got hot once Jágr came in. Jágr played a huge influence on those two, having playing with Jágr on the wings. And I cannot wait to see those 3 again on the top line next season for full 82 games. That line is going to be one of the deadliest in the NHLs. Oh, wow. All right, so on to the low points of the season for players. Definitely have to go with Campbell and Upshaw. Campbell just looked like he didn't give a shit anymore and just was lackadaisical. Certain people will say that he was one of our best players, but yeah, I don't think it was. Upshaw was pretty much non-existent all year. Now, some people will say Kopecky. I'm not going to say Kopecky because I thought he was phenomenal on the penalty kill. I would like to see him stay, especially just for penalty kill, maybe keep him on the 4th line or something. If not, then just limit his minutes. So what do you guys think of this Florida Panthers season? I want to hear what your input is. Am I off base with my MVP, underperformers, all that? Let me know down in the comments below. And again, I don't know if this is going to be my last video for this season or not. I am currently working 2 jobs, averaging possibly close to, 60, 70 hours some weeks, so I'm not going to have much free time to be able to record videos. I do want to do some. I want to do another logo thing, one with the AHL, maybe the CHL, and a couple random Florida Panther videos, like recaps on the draft and stuff like that. Again, I'm going to have to see how my time is. I'm going to be really pressed for time. I'm probably going to be averaging like maybe 1 day off a week if I'm lucky. So, again, we'll see. But again, as always, thank you guys for all your support. It was a great year for us this year. Again, we just missed it, just short. Like, we got to get the offense definitely going next year, and I think we will with Yager on board and a couple of key free agent signings. So, with that, thanks again, guys, and I will see you in the next video.